Well, hello everybody. Long time no hear. No, I did not disappear. However, I really did not realize what the heck I put myself into by adopting a puppy. And what a great puppy it is. His name is Tiger, if you don't follow me on Facebook. But trust me, it was a shock to the system. I had a dog when I was like much younger and I completely forgot about it, right? So as soon as I got over the what the was I thinking phase and finally caught on some sleep, the monthlies, were not possible. So sorry about that, but I guess and I hope you understand. So here we are. Yay. So this particular time we are looking for transition of Aries. I'm going back to actually doing tarot scopes, like not necessarily for a month only, even though technically that would make it easier for me. So sort of like transition 23rd to 23rd sort of a thing, right? Hi Taurus, and welcome to your monthly. This is for transition during the Aries period, so it's like 23rd to 23rd. It's just like prior to your birthday. You are the next to be first. So let's see what they see. The bottom of the deck was Fire Queen. I'll be telling you the cards' names because not everybody knows my Mystic Tarot deck. And look at that. It's like that huge enthusiasm about everything. It's kind of like that. A meaning is amazing because this is about, hey, brace yourself. It's really interesting. I was just doing Aries and there were like more coming across as an earth sign. Well, hello, buckle up, right? This is like where the fun begins, and this queen is all about energy and enthusiasm and passion. Definitely it's going to be quite a bit of something that you also like. Love for home, love for family, love for all the pets. But you'll and that's Tiger saying hi. You guys will be fun and charming, and you're going to be make your voice heard, right? So it's kind of like that intensity that is going to really play a role over here. And it's going to be sort of like something light and with a good sense of humor. Now it's actually really taking a lot for this woman to lose her temper, but once she does, oh my god, look for cover, right? So as far as majors, there's like one, and the second one came through, which was justice, which is consequences called in this particular deck. So it is a kind of like a karma card. So it's kind of like 11, and this one is 9, the moon. And the moon over here is really talking, and I really think it's connecting to the 7 of sky or 7 of swords. It's kind of like a choice between a head and your heart, and nothing really worked. You felt, well, let me try to find some, direction in my own head. Maybe somebody was like taking something away. Look at that. The kitty over here is really grabbing just because somebody for a split second kind of look at these like beautiful blackbirds. And it kind of like feels like you lose everything. Not only do you lose the little mousey, you lose that beautiful side, and you lose a friend. Maybe you never had a friend. So it really feels to me that you have been going through the period where it was this feeling of a loss. It was this feeling also where maybe you felt, hey, am I going nuts? Almost like you didn't believe your own eyes. The moon has like that tricky quality that it makes us think that there's like something else than it appears. It plays tricks on our eyes, right? So the moon can talk about jealousy, it can talk about issues in a relationship, it can talk about insecurity and a whole bunch of things. The good news here is like, because you also have 2 9s, there's like the end of one cycle. There's like something that has been going on. If it was good, you're going to get even more good. If it was bad, well, it's going to end. So now it's the time to kind of like move things forward. And forward it will move, because you really need to come out of this phase of dreaming, bless you, and estimating in what kind of like direction do you really want to go, right? Look at this kitty, 9 of Cups. All the dreams. What do I want? Do I want kittens? Do I want milk? Do I want food and shrimps over here? Or do you want this like pretty tomcat, right? Or maybe like fish or little birds, right? It's kind of like always like something that we really desire. And you're earth sign, like you're really driven by those desires, how to make, you know, that grounded effect and enjoy your life. But you were not clear, and you were trying to define this direction. Look at this, kitty standing right at the door, and you all know the situation. You open the door. Do you want to go out? No. Well, you close the door. Well, can you open the door? And that's kind of like was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It maybe you spend lots of time daydreaming, but maybe you felt those dreams can't be materialized, and hence it was just creating almost like short circuit, a confusion, I would say, in your processes. Like 2 of Fire definitely kind of like calls for you to kind of like really wake up and to really kind of like realize that either way, it could be good, it could be bad. You can always shift it, you can always change it, you can always kind of like look in kind of like different direction. So it is really, really good card to get, but it's also telling you, look, you know, if you snooze you lose kind of a thing. Don't go in that direction. There is a sense for some of you, we have a 5 of Earth, and this is kind of like sad card. Look at this kitty in the snow and looking inside the other 2 kitties in the warm place with the food, and it's kind of like, oh, why is this not me? To me, this card is always catching up with the Johnsons, and it almost like describes lack. And so many of us had lack in our lives, and we are cautious with how much should we spend our money, in which direction do we go. But money is energy, and money is also kind of like energy that can attract if we know how to handle it. So it is like really about thinking about it. It's about thinking, okay, so where do I get this energy boost? How do I increase my vibrations? How do I not feel this kind of like left in the cold anymore? And why I'm spending even time in a cold thinking about how everybody else is doing better instead of like really bettering myself. And that could be like this part of illusion or disillusionment over here that is happening. Maybe you have been dealing with somebody whom you didn't really trust entirely, and I can see there's going to be a huge shift. There is like a sense of, well, you know, maybe I don't want to be bothered. So again, this kind of like, I don't want to go in this any direction. I don't know if I want to go out. It's nice and warm in here. Or leave me alone. I'm so tired. I just like want a nap. Well, it is kind of like really normal, especially if you're northern part of the northern hemisphere, where we are still lagging with the spring. Here in Toronto, we are just melting the snow, and I woke up for walking in the tiger, walking my tiger early in the morning, and it was like, snow again? Are you nuts? But this is really saying, hi tiger, stop it. This is really saying that maybe you're realizing that you need to recharge your batteries. You generally, as a sign, you kind of like move slower, but you really pace yourself. You really know that little by little by little you're going to get there. Literally, this tortoise and hare kind of like fable is something that can describe you. And now we are getting to the really good part, that this is kind of like almost like waking up from this dream, kind of like really sorting all these things out that have been going and swirling through your head. You're getting this Fire King, so they're like really 2 good news. So if you guys are looking, it's going to be quite a bit of abundance. It's going to be a choice. So who is this King of Wands? That is like somebody who could be, you know, a businessman, or, you know, a mover and a shaker, sort of like somebody also kind of like outgoing and direct and charming. It's also somebody very confident, right? And it could be somebody who other people call super dad. Oh, let's do this sports, let's do that kind of stuff, right? So somebody who kind of like maybe has a successful career, coaches his kids, you know, has like a little league team, but also wants to be married and vital at the same time. It's kind of like somebody who are going to see in their 60s and 70s still kind of like participating normally in their life as if they are like in their 30s. So this is somebody who is really involved to be in many activities, and maybe this is why you're going to collapse. So dude, you know, it's kind of like was a fun and games for 3 days, but I really need something nice. I need a pedicure, I need a manicure, kind of a thing, right? So it all talks about a coupling, right? So lesson over here would be, and that's kind of like in how, you know, you're going to process things, is going to be that there's going to be lots of enthusiasm coming back in your life. But now, interestingly enough, we have a fire and then we have a snow on this side, right? So here we have the King of Swords, authority figure, right? So here we are talking about, you know, rulers and leaders and judges, right? So there is like somebody who really values personal integrity and honor. And it's kind of like the card that kind of like quietly calls the wisdom of your kind of like personal choices, right? And also, hello, let's just like turn this knowledge into action. So even though, you know, he looks like this fluffy kitty, kind of like this is person who is like really deep in their thoughts. It could be somebody on a quieter side who you cannot make them shut up once when they open their mouth, kind of a thing, right? So I guess that could be Libra's kind of thing. So you might still be dealing with air signs or fire signs over here in abundance, even though I also see some water over here. But this clearly tells me it's going to be abundance of opportunities. It also tells me it could be things happening from the past. It could be one person is from the past. Maybe you're divorced or kind of like broken up with someone, and you really maybe waited for this person. Hey, is she going to come back, kind of a thing, right? And maybe, you know, this person does come back, and it's almost like, because sometimes they call this card wish card. It could be, oh, wish is coming true. But at the same time, this kind of processing that you have done is kind of like making you think, well, it's going to be real. Is it going to be real? Am I going to, again, kind of like be cheated, betrayed, left out in a cold? It could have been somebody who kind of like left you broke and left you struggle with money. And since security is extremely important to you, not that it's not important to the other signs, trust me, everybody kind of like feel the same way, but you feel a bit more so. Probably if you don't have a certain amount of money on your books, you just cannot sleep if the money doesn't sit in the bank. But look at this. In spite of all of that, you're going to start realizing, ta-da, look at this, Two of Cups. This gorgeous kind of like thing that is really happening. There is like this meaning of the minds, and somebody really appearing, somebody really announcing these things, or simply you might get tuned to that new vibration and kind of like pushing it forward. And once when you step on the gas pedal, you will continue going. Ace of Sky or Ace of Swords is the victory sign. It means, in spite of the all odds, something that looked impossible, it is possible. There is like this essence of, look, you know, I have to cut my losses, and then I'm able to move it forward. So whatever it was, sometimes like these losses and processing keeps us engaged in a situation where we really shouldn't be engaged. And this actually clearly pushes us forward. So for you guys, it's arrival of a soulmate. It could be even 2 soulmates. So could be even 3 soulmates, because all of these people actually could be showing. So it's 1, 2, 3 soulmates. And interestingly enough, I did pull the card for you, which kind of like made me kind of like meditate about you guys, what's going to happen. And guess what it is? Soulmate. So you have 2. There are 2. We have a little bit of talk to the hand over here, right? So this is really talking about facing your true feelings and facing also your true needs and speaking your truth and choosing love, guys. Just choose love. And there is like also some transformation that might take place, but at the same time, you are not going to, you will choose wisely this time around. You'll be getting this person through thick and thin. And even if somebody appears to be amazing and kind of like, hey, you know, I love dating you, but it's just like too much, I don't think I can handle this in the long run, you'll be able to understand it. I do have to tell you, your vibration will be very, very high. It's going to be about you being authentic. You need to speak what you feel. You need to speak what you think it's lovely, and also what you think it might be an issue. Maybe somebody just wants to prove themselves to you, and hence, you know, they're like trying to impress you, and maybe this is not their true personality. So do not jump to conclusions really too much. This card also indicates changing old communication patterns, and hence talk to the hand, right? And you need to be open to a new way of interacting. Maybe you may no longer be able to have conversations that don't sustain your authenticity, right? So it is like sort of like something new that is lying ahead, and something new that is going to be built on all conclusions that you have had in the past, and it is like really time to push it forward in the future. So my dear Taurus, enjoy it. This is lovely, and this is like pre-birthday present. Well, you're welcome. And guys, you can find me on my Instagram and Facebook, where you have daily tarot. This is really also fun to see the energies. And to get a free reading with me, get me on catchtarot.ca. All the information is down in the description. Also, guys, you know, please share and subscribe if this resonated with you, because it's going to be more coming up in the future. And love you, love you. All the best. Have a wonderful month.